Hello, this is Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you are listening to the One Player Podcast. Come check me out as DLC in WWE 2K16. Yes, you can relive this classic moment from 1999 when on SmackDown, when Triple H, he tried to beat me up. I was just doing commentary and he comes over here, tries to hit me in the face. So I slapped him back and said, yes, it was great. I look pretty good shirtless too in this scene, almost 15 years later. So does Triple H, but he doesn't quite pull it off. No, he just has a big metal mask on. What a dork. It's funny. Alright. Yeah, I was shocked. Like, not really to replace Hogan, because, man, he got on some dirt. Apparently, he's, yeah. Well, I'm sure you all know by now, yeah. It's all over the social media. So, I guess they're pretty much done with him, although, what happens to Curtis Axel now, you know, that's pretty much it for him, isn't it? Yeah, and by and large, so's Sandow gone too. Holy shit. Because he's basically the new Benoit. Like, Hogan's just like they erase you. You're such a non-entity to them. You're just like, nope. Like, I heard on Raw, there was like no Hogan signs of any kind whatsoever. Anybody probably who came up dressed like him was probably asked to change their attire or escorted out, I would assume. So, a lot of that going on, but let me, before I get into the nitty-gritty of Raw and Smackdown, let me do my usual thing in order. Or at least try to. I've been mostly playing the 3D Dot Game Heroes for my LP. I need to get back in on that, like, whew. Because if getting lost in Legends sometimes, I was worried about that, like, 3D Dot Game Heroes, whew. Like, there's a lot of practice that's gonna go into that, I think, just to ensure I don't look like a dummy. And even then, I'm like, where do I go? Oh, yeah. Because there's a lot to take in that game, seriously. Why's my leg all cramped up like this? I think I've been sitting on my too long. Let me stretch out a little bit. Here we go. Alright. But yeah, between that and just fantasy life on the 3DS, like, I got all the jobs now, all the classes checked out. I'm just going through every single one, trying to level them up. I'm in the second part now, Puerto. That's basically it. But yeah, I did get the new PS3, you know. It's much bigger in megs, but and I did get Plus thanks to Candy Langer for bringing up the idea for it. How do I get my game saves? Because you can get your name on there, I got that. You can get your trophies on there, I got that. But the game saves, they would had to be like thrown up there. But the cloud can only handle like so much so much space. It's not gonna do like these huge gig files I've had of like Super Street Fighter 4. So that unfortunately had to go. A couple of things actually had to go. Most of it's just gonna be me playing through blind from start to finish anyway for LP. So it sucks, but it's not a huge loss in my eyes, and I don't really play that much fighting games these days. I mean, I'll talk about a couple of them, just because it's kind of my favorite, one of my favorite genres. But I think RPGs have seriously taken over that. Man, I don't know. I might do some fighting games later on down the line. Not as LPs, but maybe like get back on them one-shot things or whatever. But yeah. It's all been RPGs. I'm looking at my list of upcoming LPs that I could do off the top of my head. I have like a whole list of like, okay, I can do this, and they're all either they're straight up RPGs or at least have some element of a RPG in them for the most part. That's just become my favorite genre. Now it's my number 1. Fighting's become my number 2 now, as a result. So, but with that said, I do have a couple news. Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax. We knew it was coming overseas this October, but they announced it's going to be for the 8th, and there's a special launch edition. If you pre-order, you get a bonus soundtrack CD. So October 8th is when it hits America and Europe. And Street Fighter V is going to hit everybody. Yoshinori Ono and Tomoaki Ayano announced at the recent Hong Kong gaming show that Street Fighter V will be released worldwide simultaneously. We'll have a simultaneous release all across the world. No region will be late, and everyone will be able to play the game at the same time. It's just Ono's like, this is just a small expression of our gratitude to all the people here in Hong Kong who've been supporting Street Fighter for so long. So, and that current release window is in spring of next year. So, everybody plays, everybody happy, yes. Oh, and Tekken 7's got a summer campaign adding new costumes and customizations for the entire cast. Males get shirtless customizations, female fighters get all the swimwear, and you can even give the ladies a tan customization as well. Like, I looked at, I was looking at one of them, like, is that, Xiaoyu? No, I was surprised, like, she doesn't look that. So, that's kind of cool. Lily especially get, like, really, like, bronzed up. Wow, look at that. I'll pull off a couple of pictures and show those off real quick. I haven't really sat down and gotten a chance to see any of her videos, but, how does you pronounce this? Naila? I'll just put her YouTube channel. I just saw, like, a top 10 somebody else put up. I forget his name, but I'll put him I'll put that video in the description if you guys like that sort of thing. And you can probably find it, but all the same, there's tons of all other stuff out there too, because it's like the Runaway Guys as well. So it's all over YouTube. If it's not them, it's like people's doing compilations of their LPs and their moments and stuff like that. Because I see that a lot. Like not even Shugga anymore. It's like more his what other people do, like compilations of things, and sometimes that's yay. But anyway, just real quick, I haven't done that in a while. And I'm remiss to say it's his waifu watch because it's Chugga's waifu. Not like waifu, but like his girlfriend. So anyway, I get a lot for the snacking portion. Boy howdy. Cheez-Its does cheese curls? I had to get this, but man, can I really taste how synthetic this was, so I can't say I recommend this one fully. Kim and Scott's Gourmet Pretzels. I got the grilled cheese version. I think there were other ones, but I forget. This was over at another different store. But if you're like me and you like soft pretzels with no salt on them whatsoever, these are perfect. And any more of my East Coast local listeners that know Wawa, their cheddar pretzels, that's exactly what this is. Maybe even better. Although the only downside is you only get like 2 in a box, and I made like the whole box and it was done. So that's the only. So if you're like bargain hunting, I'd say maybe the Wawa would just be like, because that's only like you can get that for like you can just get one for like $1 or something like that. But that'll give you 2, and I think that was like, I don't remember prices. I should have probably double checked that. Sorry, it's usually not. Prices are usually not a thing for me when I'm looking up things. I'm looking like, ooh, what's this? Money doesn't always enter things. Very fine. I found a bunch of these. These are like small juice drinks in a can. The first one I tried was Twisted Cherry. It's just a strong kind of cherry juice, nothing too amazing, but I would recommend this. And I do have all the other flavors as well. Their orange juice. This was very fine, more like very tangy. No pulp, so I was cool with it. I'm just warning you right now. It's really tangy, or really. The grape was probably my least favorite. It starts off sweet and then it ends off really bitter for some reasons. This gets kind of bitter too. What I have now, the fourth one I saw, the apple strawberry, which is probably my favorite out of all the four. It just, again, it suffers a little aftertaste. I think they all kind of, a little bit in some cases, some more than others, but again, this one's the top contender. So if you are just going to get one, I recommend the apple strawberry. Depending on what you like, maybe with a twisted cherry. Maybe if you like tangy stuff, I'd go with the orange. If you like really strong cherry, like almost like the wild cherry, like cherry with like that little bite to it, I'd go with that. I'd stay away from the grape though. I was like, not impressed. I just have this here in case it gets too hot, because it's been kind of humid for a while, but the scorchers have been here for this coming week, and it's almost, we're in August now, so whoo-hoo. Well, I say that I'm doing this on a Friday, where I'm just by myself, and I'm just trying to get all this out of here so I can get the crux of it out of the way. Yeah, and then I think that's how I'm going to do it from now on. If I get like more free time, I'll just be like, I'll do one, and then just like upload it on Sunday, Monday. I haven't decided yet. I know I did the last one Sunday because I wanted to do an LP on Monday, and that kind of fell through a little bit because Raw came on and I forgot all about it. So it'll fluctuate, I guess. Sunday, Monday, whatever. Yeah, that's all I'll do from now on. I'll do that, and maybe I'll stick with the Sundays because it's just doing it early and just easier. But anyway, let me get back to Wise. A brand I remember having very good onion rings when I was a kid, and before the creation of Funyuns took that crown away for best onion rings in the world. Like it sits a high atop of a throne, just like the pizza combos. They're just looking over each other like a snack bust Mount Rushmore, if you will. When I think, what are they? Ilio's Pizza? I don't know if that counts. It's not really a snack food. You could say like bagel bites or something like that. If you made like a mini Ilios, I'd lose my shit though. I guess you could make your own mini Ilios. You just have to like break it up even more and just break them up even. Yeah. Because sometimes they get too frozen. You try to break them on the lines, and sometimes they get a little busted up, more so than usual. The cheese is all flaky too. So I guess I don't know. Maybe they'll cook faster. I don't know. Maybe they say not to do that. But anyway, the Bravos nacho cheese tortilla chips, very crisp, very subtle, yet very real. Almost kind of cheese flavor to them. Eating these, I honestly felt like I was 8 years old again. Yes, indeed. These I highly recommend. Bravos nacho cheese tortilla chips from Wise. And on the other side is Arizona's Grape Lime Ricky. Unless you're a fan of jacked up tussin, stay the hell away from this. Ugh. Give Nathan's Snack Puff Fries a second chance. This time they had these chili cheese ones, so they got a bit more going than just the cheddar, but it's still just okay. It's like the puffiness kind of takes away from it, unfortunately. Finally, I may have come across my favorite energy drink ever, called Big Energy Shock. There were a few flavors, but I was shocked and intrigued to find a straight-up cola, so I picked that one up, and I love it. This may have beaten Bing Cherry as far as my favorite energy drink ever. I'm doing this now, even though I have, that'll be something for next week. I have, it's an, I forget what they're called. There's an orange one, and then there's like it's like a citrus or there's powered flavor or something or other. I can't remember the name. I don't have it in my hand. But I'll save that for next week, as well as hopefully I can find what I really was looking for all this time was, them new Lay's potato chips, the 2015s, new flavors. I saw them. If you guys are following, if you guys are follow Corn Shack Gaming, he's done it one at a time. But I'm gonna do all four at once. I'm gonna find them sons of bitches, or try my damnedest too, and find them in any of the stores. Maybe they have it in my actually supermarket stores. That's where I found the 2014s first. So saving that for next week. But yeah, big Energy Shock Cola. I haven't tried the other two yet, so I don't know how good they are, but I'll let you know next week. Pardon me. Anyway, let's get down to brass tacks. Raw opens with the Authority promising a night of firsts and confirming SummerSlam for 4 hours. Which, mixed reaction for me, I guess. Yeah. If you're going to do SummerSlam, hopefully what they're going to do is Survivor Series in November, because that's one of their big ones for like the fall, and the Royal Rumble in January for the winter. Yeah. They're big four, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble. All those will be bumped up to 4 hours, The big four get 4 hours. I can almost see them pushing for that, like that whole $9.99 commercial. The big 4 hours. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, they make the following matches. For the first time, Dean Ambrose versus The Big Show. Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. Paige versus Sasha Banks. And Team Bella's Nikki and Alicia Fox versus Becky Lynch and Charlotte. Seth in the ring gloats how he was the first to cash in at the main event at WrestleMania. Cena comes out and tries to lobby himself into a title match with Seth Rollins. Steph's like, "You want to see that?" And crowd erupts for some reason for Cena. And Steph's like, "Yo, I say no. You gotta earn a shot at that title." But Triple H is like, I like the idea of the match, so let's make it. But the title that's going to be on the line is Cena's United States title. So, double champion. No, that should be a pretty big shock if he did lose it to him. But I'm like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. They're not going to take away the only decent thing Cena has going for him right now. Is even for the hardcore critics, they're just like, Dean Ambrose getting stripped down and demolished by an angry giant. That's someone's fanfic somewhere, but no, it's the Big Show just beating the shit out of it. Dean keeps getting sent to the outside, but he keeps fighting to get back in the ring, and Show just picks Dean up to bring him back into the ring, but Dean counters and kicks him away, goes for his through the middle top rope leap on the outside, but Show, BAM! He just hits Big Show's KO punch right in the face. He's down for 10. Like, he tries to get back in the ring, but it's not enough. Like, he's crawling at the side of the ring apron, and the ref gets the 10. He's like, He walks away, but Ambrose has made his way to leaning up against the barricade to try and sit up a little bit and show Ceases. He's like, all right, well, I'm gonna finish him off. I'm gonna spear him, but Dean dodges and Show bursts right through that barricade. So Show wins the battle. Dean wins the war, I guess. He won the match, Big Show, but it was by count out. He just overpowered him at that point. But Dean proving he's still crazy like a fox. He's got that savviness. Fandangoing for one. Yeah, I don't think even the crowd cares anymore. He's jobbing to Neville. And afterwards, another promo from Stardust saying, "The problem today is everyone wants a feel-good story about heroes, whether they wind and dine with kings and queens, or wear a green hood. No one talks about the unknown anymore." I forget the rest, but it looks like Stardust wants Neville to play pretend with him or something. Like, I think Bray Wyatt's kind of hard to follow. At least he talks kind of slowly. He has like this very slow bass to his voice. It's very, very easy to understand. Won't you come over here and give Uncle Bray a big hug? I don't know. He has this look of him like he's like an asshole and like how he's booked, but I figure like backstage like he couldn't be the sweetest guy ever. I'm willing to bet that he's just like, hey, come on over here. You want to watch this match with me? Want to share a Snickers bar? Husky Harris, eat a Snickers. You're not yourself when you're hungry. Better? better. Backstage with Paige rallying up Charlotte and Becky till Team Bad comes in with Sasha saying, you guys are taking credit for what Steph did to revolutionize the Divas division? She puts herself over as the NXT Divas champion, as well she should. Because I haven't seen the network, but I've seen a couple matches on YouTube, and wow. I've seen this match, and wow. I'll get to that. He puts herself over as the first NXT, Paige, actually. She responds by putting herself over as the first NXT Divas champion, a 2-time WWE Divas champion. So they look like they're going to come to blows, but Naomi's backing them off like, you'll meet him in the ring. Come on, let's go. Charlotte says, it's going to get ugly if Naomi and Tamina get involved. Paige's like, it already has. Team Bad has an actual team name, but Team Paige has matching merch. And apparently, Sasha's been doing this for a while. There was like I said, I've seen stuff on YouTube, like, she turned heel because of Summer Rae. So Summer Rae actually, did something good. So Summer, trying to, get noticed, get famous. Like, you're playing too nice. You're basically like, she was losing just about every match. So she did like a heel turn, and then it became like the Sasha Banks you know her as now. So apparently, her and Summer Rae were team BFFs, and then there was another one or something like that. I looked at her TV tropes page, but she's got a thing with acronyms. She's been doing this for a while, and they all start with B. So just something I remembered. I was like, yeah. I can't get that mashup of her theme and The Rock's theme out of my head. I'll put that in the description as well. I think WWE has it too. But yeah, I would call that Team Bay, beautiful and electrifying, or something along those lines. If you're something male. So, Team Bad's got an actual team name, but Paige has matching merch until, Team Bad actually has, I think they copy that merch. So, who gonna win? Who gonna get it? Paige before the commercial. Yes, this Divas match goes to 1. When's the last time you consider that happened in a Divas match? Holy shit. Hashtag giving Divas a chance after all. Paige flies out to all of Team Bad after sending Sasha out to them. So both teams get involved, and the rest like, you get the hell out of here. So we have Sasha and Paige one-on-one. Truly awesome. Both ladies with some mad news in the midsection action. Like, they are really... I love that they're getting Sasha over huge right now. The Banks statement. Because Sasha nearly had to tap to the submission as well, but she gets to the ropes, and then Sasha suckers in Paige with that, it's a backcracker like Carlito, but then she follows it up into the Banks statement, and Paige taps out. So, first time NXT champion, 2-time Divas champion. She put herself over. Yeah. This was amazing, you put yourself over as like, hey, I'm this serious threat, and like I used to, like, had all this accolades and stuff, and Sasha makes her tap out, so. Team Bad with all the momentum, in my opinion. Mostly because I'm kind of crushing on Sasha Banks right now, Again, I remember, it was either last week or this week, or I wasn't paying attention. I was like, I was too busy checking out Sasha on Twitter and seeing what she was about, and I'm like, wow, she actually had the... She actually has like a TR, I think, or something like that. Or Chibi wrestlers did a thing for that, like, and then she liked it so much she made a t-shirt out of it. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. So she's like I guess like Bray in that case, like she's probably the most sweetest girl you could ever meet. But anyway, back to, I'm gonna keep reminiscing. Seth Rollins is being interviewed. When you're on top all the time like I am, you get scrutinized. People always saying, oh, Seth can't win on his own. You ask Cesaro, Orton, and Ambrose if I can't win on my own. I've defended his title against superstars while Cena challenges whoever's they got left. Cena says the future goes to him. I'll prove the future's long past him. So... And yeah, around here is where they did the 2K16 commercial where the Terminator is playable. They do the scene from Terminator 2. You got people inside. You got I thought they were making like a. I thought at first it was like a new movie. Like Daniel Bryan's in a movie. Like okay, he had some downtime. He went and shot a WWE film thing. I'm like, cool, awesome. That's what I thought this was at first. And then I was like, wait a minute. I was like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Daniel Bryan, and I'm like, okay. There's Paige. There's Finn Balor, NXT champion. Oh, and Dean Ambrose, like, how amazing was he? They do like the line from Terminator 2. It's like, you give me your clothes. And he's like, you forgot to say please. And he just burns his cigarette out in his chest and it's no reaction because he was a fucking machine. And then he grabs for, and you see him grab for Dean Ambrose's hand, and it just cuts to the 2K16 with the Terminator playable. No RoboCop from WCW. Denied. Hopefully, I'm hoping they do it like how MK10 is doing their thing. Like they had like movie monsters, like they did like they had Freddy for 9. So I'm like, okay, that went useful. Let's bring in the Predator and Jason Voorhees now. Yeah, I can remember it. So yeah, Terminator. What else could they get? RoboCop. He was in a WCW match. He upped that Sting. Chuck Norris? Nah, he's a homophobe too. That probably won't have anything to do with him either. That's like, what, 5, 10, even probably more than 10 years too late for that one. Give or take. Rusev in the ring with Summerlana. Says, I'm smitten. My heart's want to burst out for the always hot and obedient Summer. A woman's privilege is to obey, but a man's privilege is to give gifts. So, Summer gets a new puppy. He says, like, the fact that he's ugly, scrawny, and neutered, let's call him Dog Ziggler. Rusev pun. Yeah, couldn't think of anything. She gets a fish, too, like a huge fish. I'm like, wow, how much does that cost, like, over under? Where did he go? Like, I'm fascinated. He had to go to like the pet store, and then there was like a, like, I don't know if you can get that like a supermarket. Like you would have to like for something that size. I would assume you'd have to go to like exclusive like fish store or something like that, or like I forget what they call them, fish emporium or something. And just a thing where they have the guys with like the ice and they're just throwing the fish back and forth like a. I know there's a name for it. I forget what it's called, but anyway. You know, he mentions that the fish is Lana, you know, cold fish. Yeah. And speaking of which, Lana's had enough. Like, you dress her like me, kiss this unoriginal woman while you look at me. Got a point for unoriginality. I mean, you know, she's there with Miz. She did the Fandango thing. I'm like, yeah. Go Lana. And Summer says, after all these years of Rusev laying with this... She holds up the fish and says, like, yeah, she gets with this, and she shows off her pretty nice posterior. I'll give her that. It might be mostly because of dress, but every time I see her, it's just like, bagoosh. Yeah, but no lie. You got buns on. So Lana kicks her in the shin and puts her face on that cold fish. Guess we gotta do something while Dolph Ziggler's away. They gotta have a feud or whatever. They can move on. Though there's nothing for Lana to do, I guess. It's just, This is not a third wheel, it seems. Like, Rusev's still killing dudes in the ring. Well, I'll get to that. WWE tries to outdo Lucha Underground with the Lucha Dragons versus Los Matadors. At Keep It 5-Star brought up the fact that the Luchas were in pink. Fuchsia Dragons. O'Neal talking up a storm and proving just how shit tier the commentary team is. Young's just doing all the scouting while, you know, O'Neal's doing the talking. He's the big loud guy, and Young's like, you know, I'm just gonna watch the match. I'm gonna scout these guys, you know. O'Neal's trying to get him involved, kind of like I don't know, maybe a little against his wishes. Like, I'm trying to watch the match. He's having to say, "Wow, the crowd," or something along those lines. Like, "Wow, this move's really wow the crowd," or something. He's trying to have Young get that over. Callista all over the goddamn place till the New Day come out with a sign pointing down at Kofi for the real winner of Best Dad Award or whatever it was Titus got. Callisto still gets the win, so I have no idea what that ending was about. It's for the guys on commentary, not really the match itself, so it feels a little weird. Bray Wyatt welcoming home Luke Harper to the family. Says, "I'm not a betting man, but I can say everyone here's got a family. Do you love them? Care for them? Hug them every day and tell them that as long as you stay together, everything will be alright. But your mommies and daddies, they've been force-feeding you lies. They don't love you." Wow. Holy shit. If they did, they'd tell you the truth. But the truth can be shocking. Terrifying. The worst part is you only have to look out outside your window, look to your schools, look to your governments, look to your places of worship. The sooner you realize this, the sooner you'll be set free. A long time ago, I had a pet. Not the most charming animal, but I loved him. And he was loyal. But curiosity would get the better of him. He wanted to know what was beyond our train tracks. So one day I let the train go, knowing he'd come back. He did. But it was different. See, the world had much sharper teeth than he, and you gotta get the world before they get you. Luke Harper was damaged, and I picked him up out of the dirt and fixed him. 'Cause I knew one day I'd set him free to learn his own truth. Tell your piece. Looks like, for a long time I didn't know what my purpose was. But my family found me. He showed me the truth that this is all your fault. You shunned me. It was Bray Wyatt that saved me, opened my eyes and made me stronger than ever. Now I know, when you pray for the rain, be prepared for the mud. I'm like, is that a pun on Reigns, or just... Well, I guess Reigns prepared to be disappointed. Is he saying, like, you pray for Reigns, you're gonna get shit? Like... Because that's a rather ingenious, bougie way of saying he's... Yeah. I was glued to this, man. Put these guys back together. I thought they were going to go after the tag belts at first, but now I'm like this. They're feud with Roman and Ambrose, so... eventually, Bray's like, it all comes back to family. And Harper would go through hell and back for me. Already has. And I tried to warn Roman Reigns that this would be happening. I tried to warn Roman Reigns this would be only the beginning. If Roman truly cared for Dean Ambrose, he'd tell him he's in danger. Because this is your hill to die on, Roman Reigns. Charlotte and Becky looking to get Team Paige back on track against the Bellas. My God, Charlotte is statuesque. She's a little taller than everybody else in that ring, I think. Becky Lynch just T-bone suplexing anything that moves in that ring. I love this team-up. I don't know exactly what happened, but Alicia Fox did get injured during this match. I don't know the exact nature of it, but in storyline term for Team Bad and Team Paige, one down. It's just the Bellas now. Like I said, I would, again, just momentarily alliance for the six of them, and then just open up on the Bellas and get rid of them completely. And then I'm like, all right, now the two of us can settle our differences now. It's like, which one of, It's like, I did the most damage. I'm like, no, I hit her with the bank statement. I was like, I hit her with the Paige turn, and blah, 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 back and forth. Like, That could be a great way to just have just one feud with those. Wow, the Bellas. Alicia tries to roll up Becky Lynch, but she counters with her submission, the disarmor, she calls it, for the submission victory. So not a single roll-up pin. 2 Divas matches. Both of them end in submission. And one of them went to a commercial. I think this one went to a commercial too. I don't remember. I just remember the first one went to a commercial. I don't know if this was that long to go for that, but yeah, wow, amazing stuff. Sheamus on commentary during the brawl between Orton and Owens. Owens again booting on someone while yelling at Cole. He thinks he wants a match with him just to boot on him. But then again, that'd be the fastest way to turn him face. And Kevin Owens is not face. He's doing that thing kind of like Rollins is, being a chicken shit heel, but he's looking for opportune times. Like, he said it himself, like, I'm a prize fighter. I fight on my terms and blah, blah, blah. So, of course, Sheamus strikes Orton and have him win by DQ, so that's where I got distracted and started looking up Sasha Banks for this, Cesaro runs in, striking both Owens and Sheamus, but eats that pop-up powerbomb due to a distraction from Sheamus grabbing Cesaro's ankle. And before the main event, Cena interviewed backstage on him defending against Seth Rollins. Yeah, ever since I put my hands on this title, I built it up to symbolize excellence. Tonight's even more than so. Either Rollins is as good as he says he is, or Cena shocks the world, beats the WWE champ, and proves once and for all, the champ is here. This was either fast Raw or just time flies when I'm distracted by Sasha Banks' Twitter, like I said. Rollins has Cena scouted and manages to keep countering Cena's usual cadence of moves into pins. At some point during the match, he busts open Cena mad hard with a knee to the face, like... Cena tries to fight back, but the damage is done. So doctors, of course, have to kind of stop the match and check on him to see if he can continue. It's not like the screeching halt it was like I think they've trained they trained him to do it like super quickly, super efficiently, so you don't lose like a minute or minute and a half that the Christian Shelton Benjamin match was. Like that like took a dead stop. That happened again to Cena Orton, and it like affected how that match ended. Almost, you could argue, like because I think the time was still going for that, and they had to check on Cena because he was busted open. So yeah, Cena's. I don't know what shape he'll be in for this Raw if he's gonna even make it there. He might. It's Cena. I know KZ said you could lose an eye and still come back in. Feed him up again. Of course, Cena finds a way to win. Credit where credit's due, Again, it's because the US title, just giving him like some of the best matches he's had so far. I don't like at least they didn't tap out or anything. I don't know. Man. What'd you do with that? Or did he tap out? I forget. Did he get the STF and tap out? I didn't write down the finish. I know, but of course Cena beats him because he wasn't going to be double champion. But anyway. Still a really awesome main event. And, take nothing away from John Cena. Or Seth Rollins. Both these guys did tremendously. Especially with under fire Cena was after getting busted open like that hard way. Again, I don't know what the extent of the damage is, but enough to start bleeding profusely too, like bad. Like you see in might see it on social media like Twitter, like his nose was kind of going the one direction. So who knows how bad that might be, how out of action he might be, And of course, Seth Rollins uses this to be like, he's like, yeah, I like kind of put himself over for that reason, like he did it on purpose. He comes out addressing the sold out chance, and he's like, so what? I forced John Cena to bring the authority into power, and what did I hear from you? So what? Became the first man ever to cash in Money in the Bank at the main event at WrestleMania, and still I get, so what? I stood toe to toe with the Beast Lesnar at Battleground, walked out still the champion, but I still hear, so what? A man can only take so much. So Monday, I reached my bullying point and sent Cena to the emergency room. I unloaded on Cena. What I did was gruesome, yet beautiful in a way. Like Michelangelo sculpting on psychedelic mushrooms. He actually says that. Like, wow. Careful there. Oh, you can talk about psychedelic mushrooms. Well, Smackdown, no less. He's like, I turned Cena's face into a Picasso painting. And Cesaro says, you left out the part where Cena made you tap. Okay, so I wrote that down at least. And Rollins says, I did it strategically, and I've got better things to worry about than the U.S. title. Cesaro's like, well, while we're here, how about I make you tap right now? Matchup begins, but almost immediately out comes Kevin Owens, who joins the commentary table. Owens in camp Rollins talking about Cena's broken nose. Brings up he broke his nose, too, in his first NXT match, which I saw was against CJ Parker. I did see his first match. He does eventually break up the match when it looks like Rollins is losing, and both men they look over each other like they're like, you interrupted my match. I could have beaten him. And they look at each other for like a little bit, and then they just turn to Cesaro and just both put the boots to him before they get separated by the refs. PTP on commentary once again, with the New Day coming out to team up with the Ascension, really, against the Matadors and Lucha Dragons. Wood says, both teams are winners. Could either of you be number one contenders? If we beat you tonight, we could be number one contenders too, and your new two-time tag team champions. Biggie says, and who would you rather see as champs? Los Matadores? Ha ha! The Lucha Dragons? Sizable pop from the crowd for this one. So, yeah, those two are over. The Matadors? Pff, nah. Lucha Dragons, baby. Yeah. Or he says, Los Matadors, Lucha Dragons, or the real Mega Dad of the Year, KOFI, greatest of all time, Kingston. Wood says, points at Biggie, he's like, the man with the tricep meat. We call him Big Wool, cause he's a heavy sweater. The minister of mass, Big E. Kofi finishes off with, and the delicious, dynamic, delectable, daring divine. Darling. Because that darling. Delicious? Haven't heard anybody call themselves that since Buff Bagwell. I'm buff, I'm the stuff, and the girls just can't get enough. I'm Buff Daddy. Or should I say, I'm buff, I'm the stuff, and I'm a gigolo. Just cut the deal, Willie Ross, just a gigolo. Oh, that'd be amazing. Sucks nothing happened to him after the WWE, because I liked his look, I liked his character. Like, the hat that he had his face on it was so cool. I thought it was the coolest thing. It was like the goofiest, but it was just enough to be like, yeah! Anyway, Kofi's like, he says all these D words, and he's like, he goes to Woods, like, what else starts with D? And Woods calls himself the Doctor of Defenestration. Biggie, by the end, in the match, he goes to tag Kingston, but Victor tags for him, so there's miscommunication between them. Like, I wanted to tag my partner, and then Ascension want to get in the match. And they're like, nah, you'll just lose. Of course they do. It's just enough for Callista to get the roll-up pin. So, once again, the Lucha Dragons, another victory. Yay. Kevin Owens being told he's got a match tagging with Seth Rollins against Cesaro and a partner of his choosing. Vignette for Becky Lynch and a Luke Harper interruption. Bray Wyatt showed me the truth and gave me purpose. My life for him. Bray says, Roman, Luke Harper's willing to give his life in the name of cause. Can you say the same of Ambrose? I want you both to be careful inviting the devil in your backyard, because he might like it and decide to stay. Another great match between pay-per-view worthy, because these two had a pay-per-view rivalry going on. Jack Swagger versus Rusev. Swagger, again, shows in the pay-per-view matches where he looks like he's almost about to break out of the accolade, but Rusev proving just too much for him, and Swagger is forced to tap. He goes to attack Swagger after the match, but Rusev gets caught and has to roll away after being caught in Swagger's ankle lock. So, another match where it's like, he won, but again, because they were in Oklahoma at the time, so he's a hometown hero, so I was expecting, he's going to lose and lose big. But no, he actually got a little bit more over. He stood tall after the match. Yeah, he didn't. You know, he managed to send Rusev away. So I'm imagining maybe we'll see this again on Monday or another Thursday in like some capacity or other. Swagger's gonna lose again, but no denying they can't make magic in that ring and have great matches. Cesaro lacing up the boots, saying, you know, I'm the one with the problem with them. I don't owe anybody anything. If anyone wants to step up and join me, cool. But I have no problem with going alone tonight. Stardust picking up a win over R-Truth. Thank God he's not using the fucking King gimmick anymore. He's pretty much dealt with him. But come to think of it, I haven't seen him Barrett all week. Like, what the fuck? Like, he won the match, and that's WWE do that. Like, the losers of the match get more airtime than the winners. This happened with The Miz, too. I guess they're trying to think of something for him now. Like, maybe he drops the King thing and finally goes to being bad news again and starts vying for the Intercontinental title again. But then again, he's going to get involved with The Miz and The Big Show, and I just don't want to see that. But yeah, Stardust boots R-Truth, and he says, "They say the truth shall set you free, but in outer space, all verdicts are guilty. Truth, you have failed this city. So come on down, Neville, and be my hero." And he tries to put a mask of... It's this weird gold dust version of Starman from the NES Pro Wrestling game. Like, it's like the... Like, Starman's like the blue star with, like, pink. Only this one's, like, gold outline with, like, the black star. So... New packaging for the paper bag thing Cody once had. Is it irony or coincidental? You decide. But I'm keeping an eye on this one. I wanted to see that be a thing for... Like, it looks like just a regular mask. I didn't see any eye holes or mouth hole or anything. It looks like just a cover-up altogether. I don't know. I didn't get a good look at it. So hopefully it shows up on Raw and we actually see more of this play out during for I guess, well, it looks like they're gearing up for SummerSlam, of course. Again, I don't know if they're gonna get the guy who plays Stephen Amell, I believe his name is, from Arrow. I've seen a couple episodes. I was like, yeah, it looks cool. It looks like just Batman with arrows. There's probably more than that though, because he was the shit in that Justice League cartoon. That's why I was thinking, like, I don't watch much TV, like, wrestling, like, that's me committing 5 hours, 8 counting pay-per-views, gonna be 9, counting now the big 4 is what they're shooting for. I'm like, that's 9 hours. I could probably do, like, I could have done, like, half of Legends in 9 hours, you know? As long as I knew what I was doing, like, I looked up where I need to go next, you know, write everything down. It's like, okay, this way, this way, this way. So, yeah. I don't know if they'll get him at SummerSlam. It's, you know, it's another big event where they could do that. I forget they had something for SummerSlam. I can't remember. But anyway, let me get back to finish up. Sheamus is interviewed backstage on what triggered him beating Orton down on Monday. He's like, I don't need a trigger. Orton thought he showed me up at Battleground and that'd be the end of it. But this isn't over. See, when I came back, I targeted the underdogs who tried to win over the WWE Universe by being plucky and entertaining. But I'm a real man. And Orton fancies himself one too. But when fantasy meets reality and my bro kick meets Orton's face, I'll be the last real man standing. You probably think I'm the bad guy in all this, but Orton's the one who's waiting in the wings whenever I try to cash in Money in the Bank. I'm like, yeah, you didn't promise that. Or if he didn't, he seemed like the kind of asshole that would do that. He's I see a threat and I get rid of it. That's why these constant actions of me taking apart Orton piece by piece won't end till Orton's no longer in the WWE. We just came back too, so. Main event time. Ambrose inserts himself in this one. A chance to beat up Rollins somewhere, he'll take it any way he can get it. weird near the end. Cesaro and Owens are the legal men, so Ambrose sends Rollins over the top rope and gets sent into the ropes by Owens, setting up for his pop-up powerbomb. Ambrose, like, there's a weird combination between the two. Like, Ambrose escapes by leaping over, I guess, with a pop-up powerbomb, but he overshoots it a little bit, so he's like, leaps out of the way. Cesaro runs Owens in the front rope by the commentary table, rolls him up for the pin. And that's Raw and Smackdown. I do have something special in mind since I'm coming up on my 25th episode. This will be technically the 21st. I know it's going to be fast approaching, and by then it'll be by the end of August. I think like the August 30th is what I'm going to shoot for. I know Twitch frowns upon just doing like podcasts without game footage. I don't know if that's true for YouTube, and I haven't tried it out yet, but I'm thinking of doing a live one for my 25th. I don't have like Q&A or something like that. I'm going to have to test a couple things out, make sure. I don't know if that works with XSplit. I haven't tested it out yet, so it might just fall on here. If nothing else, well, I'll still have. I couldn't do it on Hitbox. I mean, I know Twitch seems to handle it. Twitch always had it easily enough, even though the sync is really bad. I don't know how it is on YouTube. I haven't done it myself. I haven't tested it out. I need to ask a couple people, because not everybody does it. I know Spoonie's, a lot of his videos now are just YouTube streams. I know Lewis Prower, like, up in a Blue Moon will do that as well. Like, when he uploads things, it's all stream stuff now. So maybe there's an easier way to do that. Maybe it's, I don't know, but I'll look into it. So my 25th, but that's in a couple weeks, and I'll have like I guess like a live session. I'll do a thing where I'm like do like a Q&A. So I guess I'll start that here, like Q&As or something like that. So you guys can think of stuff to ask me for the 25th, which will be in a couple weeks. And again, if all goes well and I don't get like sick or beat up or anything like that in August, that's, I haven't been sick in a while, so I don't know. I'm always dreading that as well. Like, I'm due, and when I get sick, I'm done. I'm like, there's no like, oh, I'm okay. I gotta no, because I don't get sick often. I'm usually out for a while, and of course I want to keep doing shit. I don't want to like I don't want to rest. I ain't got time to be sick. I gotta do shit. Yeah. Go look shit up on YouTube at least. Like, let me catch up on things. I've been doing that too. I've been catching up on trying to at least. I watched all of I watched Matt and Pat go through all of Silent Hill 2 just to see what the fuss of that series was about. I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. And I watched that, and then after that I watched the video where they do like the remake with like the other voice actors. Troy Baker, Laura Bailey. All these are like credited Funimation voice actors and such, and I'm like, wow. There is such a thing as being too good for a role. So that first thing, I'm like, wow, this is like really good shit. And then I see like and it's just those actors, and honestly, it kind of takes me out of it, like, because I'm like, oh, it's Troy Baker doing this voice or something like that, like, and that's not what you want for a horror game, you want to be. You want to be engrossed in that shit. Like, I guess I'm starting to see why some people, like, all those people out there are like, subs are better than dubs, because that's what they're used to. I'm like, okay, well, I do like dubs. I'd prefer that. But then again, I'm just to hear those people. But sometimes it's like, and everybody does a really. And of course, you can be. I guess everyone's a critic and being like, it's not the same. And I don't like that. But yeah, it's just weird seeing it the first time, and then I forget her name, was like that one actress for shit, I can't remember the character's name, but she was wearing a sweater or something like that, and she had like a really, really dark past. I don't want to get too into it if you haven't seen it, but yeah, it was the voice actor for that, and then it's like Laura Bailey for like the reboot, the remake. And I'm like, So yeah, it just weirded me out a little. So yeah, I saw that. I'm trying to catch up on a couple things. Lord knows by the time I get to that, it's gonna be like all the kiddies stuff. I want to watch all his I want to see the entirety of I guess they call those digital devil games, or like all the Shin Megami Tenseis, to see what that's about. And then Matt and Pat did like I'm still watching Liam and Pat do what is it, Super Mario RPG. I got to the forest mode as far as that goes. I'm trying to like I'm 6 months behind, and they're gonna do another wrestling thing for August, so I'm like mad behind. So I might just like pop in for that and just make sure that's all done and watch that first. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I'm always like 5-6 months behind according to the YouTube time thing. That's where they uploaded those videos. So, but anyway, that's enough for that. I gotta put this up, and again, 25th episode. I'll see. I'll try and do something special. At the very least, I'll have Twitch to fall back on, but I want to see the YouTube thing. I'll ask around. I'll ask Casey and if he knows anything about that. So, with that said, that was the One Player Podcast. Thanks for listening. Take care.